Red Bull has their next young superstar primed and ready. His name is Colton Herta, and he could be the next big thing. And Red Bull is going ahead with testing him, despite a block from the FIA. Is the team really powerful enough to push through regulations? Plus, how is Nick DeVries swooping in to steal Herta's position? Stay tuned for all of that and more coming right up. First up, breaking the rules. Colton Herta has had plenty of success in his home IndyCar series. The 22-year-old became the youngest driver to win a race in 2019 and has gone on to win 6 more. But his dreams are much bigger than the United States. He has been linked to McLaren in the past, who have given him some track experience in testing sessions. But the big news over the last few weeks has been Red Bull's interest in the American. They're on the lookout for talent to replace Pierre Gasly, who is likely to leave AlphaTauri for Alpine. And if you know anything about Red Bull, it's that they love to have a stable of junior drivers in development. There's only one small problem. Herta doesn't hold a super license, which is required by the FIA for drivers to participate in Formula One races. The system has been criticized in the past because it overwhelmingly favors European championships over American ones. Coming first, second, or third in Formula 2 will earn you enough points to have a super license, while in IndyCar, you can only qualify if you win the series. Of course, that's over one series, and the super license system works over the previous 3 seasons. But you can see how the points are unevenly divided. That is at the heart of Herta's issue. He has 6 points short of a super license and would be relying on the FIA to make an exception for him. But Herta wants to play by the rules. He's a good boy. In his first full interview about the situation, he explained that he didn't want to become a special case for the FIA. Herta said that he could understand the position that the FIA is in, and he wouldn't feel right joining Formula One if it was against the official rules. He also responded to a couple of possibilities that could earn him the points needed to race next season. These include driving in the Asian Regional Formula during the off-season and participating in free practice sessions with a current F1 team. First off, Herta said that he thinks it's unfair for him to go back into the feeder series after competing at the top level of motorsport already for 4 years. And as for running in free practice sessions, his best option would be with McLaren. The team CEO, Zach Brown, has been pushing to get Herta into F1, but isn't willing to go that far. Herta said, "Zach Brown said he'd be interested to run me in FP1s, but he wouldn't want to put me in a McLaren if I had a contract with AlphaTauri. That makes sense, right? Why would Brown want to help another team secure their star driver?" Herta currently drives for Andretti Autosport in IndyCar, a team that has expressed interest in moving into Formula One in the future. This could be another long-team option. But for now, Herta says that there are still things he can work on, as he's not a complete championship driver just yet. Enter Nick DeVries. Colton Herta's dream looks to be all but over after Dutch talent Nick DeVries meeting with Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko recently. DeVries has been connected to Mercedes in the past and even won a championship with their Formula E team in 2020. For now, Mercedes don't have a good fit for him, and after DeVries stepped in for Alex Albon for Williams at the Italian Grand Prix, he has caused quite the stir in the paddock. Having just a couple of days to adjust to an entirely new car, DeVries proved how ready he is by finishing P9, which is an incredible result for the team. This standout performance has drawn interest from Red Bull, and Helmut Marko has confirmed that Colton Herta is off the table now. Marko said that the team would be moving on without Herta, and that he was disappointed with the FIA for denying such an exciting American talent. But when one door closes, another one opens, and that door seems to have opened for Nick DeVries, who revealed that he had already met with Marko about working with AlphaTauri. Red Bull is still negotiating with Alpine about Gasly's potential move, so it might all be for nothing. If you're DeVries, though, it has to be a pretty nice position. He has options at Williams and AlphaTauri, but he's not getting ahead of himself. He said, "There are opportunities, but no guarantees." Those are wise words in this industry, Nick. Up next, how has a young driver program been ruined by all the contract drama? And which team will Nick DeVries choose for his future? So don't go anywhere. Lewis Hamilton's connection to DeVries. After DeVries motored his way into the points at Monza, every driver was asked about how they thought his debut went. Lewis Hamilton was one of the few who wasn't surprised, and that's because of how close the two are. Nick DeVries has been part of the Mercedes family for years now, and Hamilton revealed that he's been putting in the work with Mercedes simulators and often reaches out to ask Hamilton's advice. But the connection actually goes even further than that. The 7-time world champion told reporters that his father, Anthony Hamilton, tried to help him get his F1 career off the ground. Anthony also managed Lewis's career for years before they went their separate ways. Lewis said that it was back when he was still driving for McLaren, and his father recognized Nick as a rare talent. And how right he turned out to be. DeVries went on to win Formula Renault 2.0 and later the 2019 Formula Formula 2 championship. And now Lewis is backing De Vries for an entry into F1. He said that the Dutchman deserves a place on the grid next year. Next up, Alpine's disaster. The team dominating the headlines over the summer break has been Alpine. They were at the center of two huge stories that rocked the F1 drivers market. First, Fernando Alonso left the team for Aston Martin, and then their young driver Oscar Piastri cut ties for a deal with McLaren. That's why they are desperate to fill their second seat with a top-quality driver next season, and their eyes are firmly fixed on Colton Herta. That's right, Red Bull might not be interested in him anymore, but it has been reported that Herta will be running a private test for Alpine. He's being subbed in for Oscar Piastri, who publicly embarrassed the team. Alpine's CEO Laurent Rossi admitted that they had made some legal technical mistakes in handling Piastri's situation, but said that he expected more loyalty from the young driver they helped prepare for Formula 1. But that's not all. Alpine is so cut up about the drama that they're considering getting rid of the young driver program altogether. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff agreed with Alpine and worried that it might set a dangerous precedent for young drivers. Alpine had already invested millions of dollars and supported the last few years of Piastri's racing career. On top of that, they offered him a clear career path, an opportunity at Williams before a promotion to Alpine. But that wasn't enough for the young star. Williams is the big losers again. Williams has been left empty-handed from all of the drivers' market drama going on. Not only did they lose a chance to run Piastri in their car, but it also looks like Nick De Vries might be slipping out of their grasp too. After his impressive showing at the Italian Grand Prix, Nick De Vries had cemented his future promise for Williams, and former world champion Damon Hill said that Monza also added another point of pressure for a struggling Nicholas Latifi. Latifi has failed to step up in his almost 3 full years of racing in Formula 1. He was initially partnered with George Russell and lagged behind significantly. And things didn't change much this year when Alex Albon became his partner. The gap has shortened, but not enough to change his destiny. Williams might be at the back of the grid, but they have no intention of staying there. And given a choice between Latifi and De Vries, the answer is becoming simpler and simpler. Damon Hill said that while Latifi has shown rare signs of promise, De Vries had the entire paddock talking about him. Toto Wolff said that De Vries couldn't have done any better, and that Niki Lauda would have taken his hat off as a driver. That's some very high praise from one of the most powerful people in F1. And according to Hill, that's the kind of thing that will make a successful F1 driver. The only question for De Vries now is which team to choose. Do you think that De Vries will be a good fit at AlphaTauri? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.